Shot several times. Mack was caught in Bolton Wednesday. The man killed in a Tuesday evening wreck south of Goodman on Highway 51 has been identified as 69-year-old Larry Ray Horton of Durant. The Highway Patrol says his car hit an embankment and Horton was thrown out. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
The Kim Wade Show is brought to you by Mike Crook and the X39 Stem Cell Activating Patch made by LifeWave. Learn more at x39radio.com.
Here we go.
All right, there we go. All right, folks, we are back. You can bring me down a little bit. We are back, and it is Thursday. Glad to be back here in the studios again today. Folks, this is your host. Who? It's Radio Strongman. Kim Wade. I'm coming to you live from WYAB 103.9 FM. And, folks, we got a new old producer here. We got Matt Bishop. The Bishop's in the studios with us today, looking like a defendant. Got on a pretty blue suit over here.
I always bring it up for you, Kim.
Oh, all right. He's elevating his game here. He done combed his hair, wiped the sleep out of his eyes. He's looking like a real attorney over here today, folks.
That's like 3/4 of the battle. Just look like an attorney. You
That's
don't actually
right.
have to be a good one. Just look like one.
You got to carry the briefcase and look pensive and look like you got some deep thought going
That's
on
right.
there. That's right. And show up.
Yeah.
I had a legal situation, and I hired the lawyer, and we're down there pacing the floor, waiting on him to get there. We were up first in Judge Wise's courtroom, and he had walked off with the file. He didn't show up till like 3 o'clock.
Really?
And I'm trying to get hold of, and he answered, "Yeah, I'm gonna swing by by there." What the hell? What kind of response?
I'll just be by there. You know, I gotta drop off my kid first, and then then I'll be right on over.
It's almost happy hour, so I won't miss.
Yeah, we got to make this thing quick though.
Judge Wise, this was the mother. Judge Wise was not a happy camper. Boy, she read him the riot act, but I was just blown away. I'm gonna swing by there. We were supposed to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. Jeez Louise. But I guess, there's, just like in real estate, there's all different quality of practitioners.
That's right. That's why you got to do your research. You got to do your homework when you pick these kind of people.
Well, that brings up a good question here. Folks, the hotline number is brought to you by EliteRoofer.com. EliteRoofer.com. If you want your first, second, or third estimate, call 601-326-2755. Now, we got Matt Bishop in the studios with us. He has the Saturday show here from 11 till 1 every Saturday. And of course, he is the one that actually brings the receipts in his show, throwing everybody else off. But we've learned to just put him on the weekends.
They couldn't have it. These facts that you have. That's a weekend thing.
This is an opinion show here, bro. And here he comes with receipts, throwing everybody off, making us look like we're incompetent. But anyway, Matt Bishop, what should people look for in choosing a lawyer, since you are an attorney at law? So yeah, what would you recommend?
So I think a lot of people, the best way you can find an attorney is just ask others, right? Just see other people that that you trust, their experience. Right. You see the Morgan & Morgan things on the you want to call their billboards, but I would say the best, and that's where I get 95% of my business is just people say, "Hey, I worked with him before. He did this for me."
Word of mouth.
So I would tell the people that the first thing you should do is just ask around, right? Just broaden your circle out and get to the opinion. Just like, you worked with that attorney, someone, he's like, do work with that guy, right? And so to me, that's always the best thing that you can have. But if you don't have that, if you've been lucky enough in your life that no one in your family has ever used an attorney before, God bless you. But next thing, if you do have to start going on Google, you have to start doing that. Just sit there and talk with them, right? Just like any other person, right? Especially if you think something may go to trial, like if they tell you, and don't believe false promises, like a lot of realtors, right? And I was like, man, I'm going to get you $1 million, right? Listen, the guy who's going to tell you the hard truth. And I think that's a lot of times people. You got to be able to listen to the hard truth, right? And I'm going to tell, and I tell my clients, hey, I'm going to tell you things you're not going to want to hear,
That's right.
right? But that's my job.
That's right.
So first off, you got to be open to listening to things that, hey, maybe your case is not as strong as you thought it was. And you can always find someone to do some BS case for you, right? I'm not gonna lie. You can find some jack attorney that say, hey, I'll do anything, right? Probably not the guy you want.
Right.
But actually listen to the bad parts of your case, the good parts of your case, and get an honest opinion whether it's going to be something to go forward. And you can just do that and say if they're willing to tell you the hard things, that's probably someone you can trust, because that's really the most important thing is trust.
Well, let me ask you this. Folks, we're talking with attorney Matt Bishop, one of our local, one of our lineup hosts here on the weekends. And he's an attorney at law. And he just kind of just walked into this line of questioning, as it were. Okay, on a municipal level, is there a difference between hiring a lawyer for municipal, county, circuit, federal? Is there any suggestions that you would, throw out there, highlight, or recommend?
Yeah. So a lot of times obviously you want to see the experience of an attorney, right? And they actually have to be barred somewhere,
Right.
That's number one. And you can always check, I do say that, if you look at attorney, just go to the Mississippi Bar's website, right? And they have the directory there. You can see if there's been disciplinary opinions against an attorney. That's all public information. But seeing that, especially, I'd say the big difference between is federal and state court, right? Those are two different monsters. Okay. And generally, an attorney is going to be better at one or the other.
Right.
And different cases could be a lot of times things start in state court and we put them to federal court. That's most of my cases, honestly. I practice mostly in federal court, for instance. So just like I said, seeing that experience, and seeing what's a better venue for you to go. Right. So, if you're looking at just a divorce or something, that's going to be in the chancery court. Get someone that works really well. In fact, the guy that is on my show on Saturdays, we work a lot together. His name's Joseph Jones. That's what he does great. He is chancery court. Yeah. So he's excellent in there. Right. That's family disputes and non-monetary contractual disputes, those kind of things. But if you want to get into federal court, you want someone with that trial experience, someone who is going to put that and argue with you. And a lot of your businesses, that's where a lot of your business stuff. And most of my clients are businesses instead of individuals, and that's almost 90% of where we are, because businesses are in so many different states. We get usually 9 times out of 10 in federal court. So it's just that experience and talking with them. And again, if that attorney's honest with you to say, oh yeah, you know what? I don't have a whole lot of experience in chancery court, but what I would do, right? Someone asks that, you know what? I know a guy for you though. Right. I here's a guy that I trust, someone I work with. And that's what I do, quite often. And other attorneys do that for me. And so we have that own kind of mix too, because an attorney should not represent someone if they're not comfortable or in that court. So that's the next I would say, just have that conversation.
Gotcha. No, well, that's one of the things I do in the real estate arena, and that is I just tell. I just had a client. I told him, I'm choosing not to list your home. We've had several discussions about, what, in other words, let us fall out on the front end. Don't let me get halfway into investing in advertising, and you come back 6 months later and say, he didn't do anything.
Right.
It's because we didn't have that clear understanding on the front end. And that's let's just fall out on the front end, let somebody else sell this property. It's going to be a better fit for them. This is not going to work for me, because we had some discussions about what to be done. Just like Reader Results, Jensen will tell you, if you do this, this, and this, I will guarantee the sale of your home. But if you're not willing to do it and you still want that guarantee, that's not going to work for me.
Right.
So you got to have that. And one of the other things that I've learned down through the years, I think the age, in other words, I want to know, is my attorney still in the party mode?
Yes. Yeah. That's very true. And especially in Mississippi.
Are you a happy hour attorney? Because that's the reason why over the years, these are the 3 attorneys that I can vouch that I know do their research. And, Lisa Ross, while other attorneys are out there partying at the clubs and everything, she's gonna be at home with book folded in her lap, getting ready for your case.
Absolutely.
Barry Howard and John May and Regina. Yeah. I want people who are going to be serious about their craft. Yeah. And take it serious. And
that are competitive, right?
Competitive,
you like I
competent and competitive.
Competent and competitive. That's exactly right. Because you want that attorney who is hungry, but hungry to a reasonable amount, right?
Don't want to do anything.
Exactly, right. Someone who likes to win, but they know that it's a winning case, right? As I tell my clients, I can never guarantee an outcome for you, but all I can tell is I'm going to fight like hell for you,
Right.
right? That's if I take your case, that's the one guarantee I can make, right?
Well, I remember, and this is Sean's favorite attorney, Robert K. Williams.
Yeah.
Robert was saying, "Yeah, I ain't gonna guarantee you anything unless your material witness doesn't show up." So I said,
Oh,
I
God.
said, "Who's your material witness, Mr. Green?" Those dollar bills
No
don't show up.
dollar
I
bill.
guarantee you,
Exactly.
I ain't gonna show up.
That's Mr. Franklin. That
Yeah, that's
and all
I
of
don't
his
see
cousins.
Ben around here. Them big head hunters. So yeah, they can guarantee you that if your material witness doesn't show up, I'm not going to show up.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so Robert was crazy. But anyway, folks, we're talking with Ed Bishop, attorney at law. If you do need a good
Matt Bishop.
Matt,
I don't know who Ed Bishop is,
no,
but
actually, Ed Bishop was a local insurance guy,
okay.
and he used to do public broadcasting, television, all that. He's a good guy.
yeah,
I know
okay.
his son's Michael and his what was his son name? But anyway, this is Matt Bishop, attorney at law. If you got any legal questions, you can call his show. You can go with it. It's Matt at WYB.
Yeah, you can just email that. You can Matt at WYB or mtbishop2@gmail.com. Like I said, I don't have a website because most of my stuff is word of mouth. So almost 90% of my business. But I always love to talk to people and can give some advice where I can, at least lead you in the right direction if I can help you.
Yeah. And that's what you want. One of the things you might want to do, while you're interviewing the lawyer, ask them, "Is your rent paid up?"
Yeah.
Because if they're trying to make the rent, oh yeah, this is easy.
This is it. What are we talking about? Yeah. Just go ahead and sign right here.
Yeah,
We'll be on this.
we're good.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell you about the difficulties as you're sitting up there facing jail time.
As the judge is facing you down. As I tell people, the attorney, he gets to go home no matter what, right? You may not. So just think about that.
Yeah. But no, the adversarial system that we have here, it does work, but you got to understand, you got to get a better understanding. And like you were mentioning earlier, I think probably before the show started, that many people just never had any reason to hire an attorney, and it's a shock to the system when they got to go through it. It's kind of like death or cancer
and it's
for the first time.
And it's scary, right? As
Yeah.
I tell people, as when I used to train attorneys, young attorneys, I used to tell them, hey, you know what? When we represent clients or we have a client, it's usually, if it's a personal, not a business case, but a personal case, for instance, it's usually the worst time of their life, right? It's not a good thing. It's divorce. It's a criminal case, right? It's not a good time, and it's scary, and you're nervous about it. And everybody, you should have a right to be nervous about that, right? Because it is, that guy sitting in those black robes, right? Especially if you've never been to seen that before. You may not know he's actually an idiot, but when you see those black robes, you're like, all right, this guy, he must
Put some
he
spec
think-
on his name.
That's right, But and that's why, like I said, you also need an attorney who's going to calm you down in that regard, right? It's going to be scary no matter what, but that person's there to help you through that process, right?
And so during this process that you're interviewing your attorney and you're going back and forth and visiting with it, if they ever suggest to you to start doing push-ups,
Yeah, just go ahead. I'm just saying, now's the
You
time
might
to
want
get
a
in shape.
book.
Yeah, now's the time. I'm not saying get a Nazi tattoo, but you got to find some kind of gang when you're in there. I'm just saying,
yeah.
just a suggestion.
You might want to bulk up on your jokes or something. You might want to be more personal.
Yeah, I have not said I've definitely had clients, especially when I was doing
work.
public defense work, essentially, right? You don't get to choose your clients in that, and they tell you what it was like. I was at, what'd you do? They tell me, I was like, okay, that's definitely a crime. I can maybe get you a good. No, man, I'm gonna fight. All right, well, we'll see what happens. But I tell you definitely have those fun times in criminal law.
Well, again, folks, we're talking with attorney Matt Bishop. He's producing the show for us today. You can catch him 11 till 2 this Saturday.
11 to 1.
11 to 1 here at WY.
That's too many hours. 11 to 2, I can't do that many hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. So just give him a listen if you would. You'll be glad you did. And now, do you podcast?
Yeah. So we are. So we also live stream. So you can, if you go to our website, regulatorsproductions.com, just Google Regulators Productions. We're on Rumble and YouTube. We live stream it. You can also see all the past shows on there as well. If you want to see my beautiful radio face, it is right there. So
all right, the Matt Bishop in the studios. All right, folks. Yeah, we've been just talking a little bit about lawyers and court systems, and just a little FYI, if you ever need it, you don't. It's just like. You don't need a lawyer until you need a lawyer, and then you need a lawyer.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
So, but it is something that you need to just keep in mind. And I have found out that lawyers at different stages of their lives can make a difference also.
Absolutely.
And
that's why I say too, from if I take a case to trial, right? If it's going to a full trial route, I team up with someone, right?
Right.
It's not, I'm not going to take it by myself, because you need that mixture
Yeah.
of experience,
Yeah.
right? Especially, or mixture of styles,
And somebody to catch what you may not catch.
exactly,
Yeah.
right. And sometimes juries just hate hearing from the same guy. I come up with 110-degree fastballs,
Yeah.
110 mile per hour fastballs, and someone can't take that for 3 weeks. So I have to mix it up with someone who can, take them back down. I take them back up, and just that mixture of experience too. Like I said, if it's a case, well, no matter what the case, I know I can go to trial, right? Juries, all that stuff. But the subject matter, I'm gonna pull a subject matter expert from some of the guys I know to put them on the case,
Yeah.
right? And almost I would say any attorney who says they can do the whole thing by themselves is lying to you,
Yeah.
right?
They're certainly not giving you the best advice.
Exactly.
Well, an interesting point before we go to the break. I remember sitting in on a jury selection, voir dire or whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
voir dire, yeah.
And so I'm watching the two attorneys, and I'm watching the potential jurors,
Mhm.
and I was there when the final jurors were selected, and one of the people that was there when I was watching as they were being selected, that lady was watching the female attorney, and you could just see the darts in her eye. Obviously she didn't like the way, and the attorney was dressed nice.
Oh yeah.
Just real good. That woman, and she was from a little small town, I think Copiah County, somewhere down there. And I told the attorney afterwards what I saw. I said, I don't think that woman's going to be supportive of y'all, because it's just like it's just like you were revolting her every time your words came out of her mouth.
And that's just the way. And I just real quick to go on that, because my very first trial as a prosecutor when I was in the Army,
Right.
I was in an airborne unit, and we wear the military uniform.
Right.
And when you're airborne, you have to wear jump boots.
Right.
Okay. And they literally look like, like the punk boots that you would see like punk bands wear. Right. But you have to be, really shiny, right? And they're not pre-shined like the other shoes. You have to sit there and shine them. This is my first trial. I had just bought these boots. They weren't like shiny.
Right.
And we do the whole trial. It was an acquittal. My very first one. I lost my very first case. And you learn from those. But I'll never forget, the sergeant major comes up right after trial. He comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Captain Bishop, I just want to let you know your boots aren't shined." That guy was looking at my boots the whole time, and he was not paying attention to the evidence. He was so concerned about the fact that my boots weren't shined. And that's what I used to teach about voir dire. It's such an important part, right?
Yeah.
Because those are the people who are going to judge this. And it's those small things, right? That you have to notice.
And my thoughts were, if you're doing voir dire or whatever you call it, you need to have somebody else sitting there watching everything, so they can give you some feedback, because you're in the midst of it, and you're concentrating on presenting whatever
Absolutely.
you're presenting.
You can't see it.
And you can't see that, but those little nuances there, and they end up losing the case.
Yeah, well, what we have normally for our jury trials, I actually have an expert. I haven't who they specialize. They're usually forensic psychologists that I have as part of the case, and they identify those during voir dire. Say, hey, this person answered it this way. That person answered this way. This person's face twitched this way, right? We go over through it, and I actually hire that expert, and that's their little job is to observe that jury and to give us advice on who to pick.
All right. Matt Bishop.
Get it.
Matt Bishop in the studios with us, producing and giving us advice from his personal experiences. We'll be right back. Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
All right, folks, we are back. And guess what? My Pierre Consultants, they stand at the ready to help you with all your heat and air conditioning needs. It's been cool. Matter of fact, it's been cold enough to turn the heat on. And if you've been reluctant to turn your heat on because you say, I need to get that checked out, you need to call My Pure Air Consultants at 601-939-7420. 939-7420. For over 40 years, they've been helping Mississippians with exceptional cooling systems, and you can be one of those beneficiaries of all this experience. Go to mypureconsultants.com. And while they're there, make sure they clean out the ductwork there in your home to eliminate any respiratory discomfort you may be experiencing because of that dust buildup. And once you hit critical mass, you're going to start having more respiratory problems that won't go away regardless of how much medicine you take. So it could very well be you just need to clean that ductwork out and get rid of that mold, that fungi, that mildew that's built up in there, and you'll be a happy camper, and you can thank me later. Again, mypureconsultants.com. All right, folks, it is an open forum here today. We got a lot to talk about. People are upset with our beloved president because he's tearing down the White House. No, what he's doing is building an underground bunker because he's never leaving office. He is the king. That's right, folks. People are upset because he's building
trying to improve something with his own money.
With his own money. And they're still upset. No, folks, the truth of the matter is it is an underground command center. He is taking over America permanently. He's never leaving Washington, D.C. He's president for life.
That's right. I mean, AOC says it, so it must be true.
That's right. The airhead from New York, who has a good chance of beating Chuck Schumer if he runs, which is, Jesus.
What a state. What a state.
What a state of insanity is what it is. Jeez. Folks, at the end of the day, you have to admit the president is improving the quality of life in this country. And if you're upset about that, I understand. I really do. It just proves that we don't need to be supporting you in any form or fashion. In fact, you're the one we need to get rid of. You're the ones we need to vote off the island. Let's keep Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, let's keep him president for life. All right, our number 601-879-0002. Caller, you are on the air. Mobile Pod, what's up, buddy?
Yes, another classic example of, because if Obama does the exact same thing with our money, they wouldn't care.
Right. That's right. That's right.
But Trump raises the money to build a big, beautiful ballroom, and I guess all of a sudden the worst thing in the world. Like, how do you make your brain constantly do whatever, automatically be against whatever Trump does?
Right. It's
Not even what he's for, what he does. It's just amazing, these people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could save the world of, I don't know, AIDS, and he'd be like, well, Trump did it. It's not a good thing. He's all those AIDS people he survived. Now they're just going to spread it more. That'd be their reckoning.
They're nuts. Besides being crazy, they're nuts. And it's not an act. That's the sad part about it.
It is. Yeah, they truly believe it. That is the crazy thing.
Yeah. Well, he continues to, again, and this is what I keep trying to tell people. This is the art of the deal. And they say, well, he said they were going to lower prices here. He's going to do that there. It is a process. At the end of the day, we are going to be better. And we need to do the things that he's doing. We need to be able to produce our own rare earth minerals where we can. And so we're going to have to take some short-term pain to get to that point. But they can't accept that, brother.
He's trying to make America sustainable.
Right.
Keep America around for maybe another 250 years. So what they were trying to do with America was unsustainable.
Right.
There have been millions of migrants every year, poor migrants, who contribute nothing but take away from the country, constantly racking up debt and never cared about what the government spends or does or do anything. And this permanent bureaucracy that they wouldn't even ever touch. I saw what the Supreme Court is going to rule on the woman from the FTC Trade Commission that Trump fired, and it's going to rule whether or not he can fire her.
I think they did rule today.
Which is ridiculous. Somebody got to be able to fire her.
I think they did rule in another case, which should apply to her, because they ruled that, I think they have already ruled on that he can fire her. Yeah, so he's on his way. You
Oh
know?
yeah, he's winning. I mean, it's court win after court win. Especially the thing with National Guard troops, he's going to win. The fact that the fact that an executive can't fire his own people. I mean, there's some stuff from like going back to Nixon with firing the attorney general. Some Supreme Court opinions on that. But essentially, if they're investigating you can't fire them. But other than that, I mean, they work for the executive. And so he's just going to keep winning. They just try to throw every roadblock. And I think hopefully these activist district judges who think they can just can stop a whole nation from following the law I think those days are numbered as well.
Yeah. And that's the wisdom of not revealing the Epstein files. He revealed them to John Roberts. John Roberts was the only one who needed to see it. So now John is walking with a little bit more circumspect in his step there, which is good for America.
He's not caring about people calling him racist anymore, as he was in Obamacare.
Right.
I have noticed that.
You know what? This is what I've learned in my 70 years of living. It seems like races make the best countries because that's where everybody wants to go.
That's right.
Let's hear for the white supremacists out there. Yay!
It's made all these non-white countries with all these non-white, also non-white races, people that you can live around, and you still keep choosing to live around all the races.
That's right. Go seeking them out and get mad when the white racists run them off.
Also, those TikTok videos of these people, most of them black, claiming they're not going to work if he does cut off the EBT card. And he better not come, but I ain't going to work. You try to cut off my EBT card. You see them doing TikTok videos?
I have been watching. Yeah, and you know what? And see, that's the thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump he's forcing everybody to expose who they are. And this is what I was saying the other day about the black community. We've been talking all this stuff about brotherly love and how much we love each other, how we love the marginalized community and black people. And yet, okay, come November, we're going to see how much you're willing to share with them. It ain't going to happen.
No.
Boy, you need to thank God for Donald Trump because he's giving you the wake-up call to get your crap together before you hit rock bottom. But now if you don't do it, all it means is that you're going to just basically self-deport yourself out of this world because I ain't going to feed you. I ain't going to give you a dime.
At this point, I kind of wonder if those people on TikTok are right-wing plants to make the left look bad. But leftists will say some of the most ridiculous, insane thing that you realize you live in all of every stereotype that people have about people like you on using these EBT cards, right? And you're just living up every bit of it. You've got to be a plant because you can't be this stupid. Well, yeah, they can. They are.
Well, at the end of the day, they're about to experience. You know what? And as I said on yesterday, Matt, in Mobile, all that Trump is, the result of all that Trump is doing, all it's going to result in is that black racists are going to have to be more nicer to everybody else. That's all that's going to happen. We're going to have to start acting like we have some sense and start acting like we're the Christians that we claim to be. That's all that's going to happen. End of story.
There'll be consequences. The F around and find out will be coming front and center when there's all of a sudden start to be consequences for you trying to showing off your black privilege. I think you can act a fool and nobody's going to do anything with you because you scream racism.
Well, Kim, we have to take a break. But after we come back, I got a story that's going to throw those exact people pretty mad. It's going to stop on November 1st. So.
All right. Well, we're going to pick it up after that. Mobile, we appreciate you, buddy. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. It is Thursday. Glad to be back here in the studios with the producer, Matt Bishop, attorney at law. His show's 11 to 1 here on Saturday, WYAB, and it streams live and podcast availability is there also. Matt, give them your contact information again.
Yeah, so for the show, they just go to regulatorproductions.com, click on the full story. It's all right there, all the links there. You can also just go to YouTube and or Rumble and just search for the full story, and it's all there for you as well.
The full story. All right, also want to remind you, Rita Results Jensen, local girl from right the Tri-County area right here. Rita Jensen grew up here, went to Tri-County, and everybody knows her. But if you're looking for results from someone who can sell your home, you're looking for Rita. Rita Results Jensen. I gave her that middle name because she gets results. She guarantees them. That's how good she is. 3 decades plus in the business. Knows everybody up and down the real estate food chain. She has a lot of gravitas in the industry because she gets results. Give her a call, 601-720-4037, 601-720-4037. Rita Jensen, she guarantees the sell of your home. And when you get ready to sell your home, she will sell it for free if you sell it within the next 2 years after she sold it to you. That's what she does. Service. Great service, I might add. RitaJensen.net. That's JENSEN.net. And we got the Bishop in the studios. Bishop, what you gonna bless us with some words?
Yeah. So we were just talking to Mobile Bob about how a lot of these people are about to have a reckoning.
Yeah.
And that reckoning may come sooner rather than later, as November 1st, if the shutdown continues past then, 42 million Americans who take these may lose their SNAP benefits, also known as the food stamps. And this is getting so bad that some states are even starting to declare a state of emergency on November 1st if these SNAP benefits actually go out on the 1st of November, as it requires about $8 billion each month to fund the SNAP benefits nationwide. And we'll see how exactly people will be able to what these cities like Jackson are going to be like if these SNAP benefits all of a sudden stop. But the state of emergencies are ready to go in case they take to the streets.
That is going to be interesting. How would people could just go get a job?
Oh, what? Is that a thing? You can do that?
Yeah, I mean, I know you look out of place.
What is it?
Standing up there with on bunny house slippers on and pajamas and all that. I understand sleep in your eyes and all that. Missing the what's on? I don't even know what's on daytime television.
The View.
The View, yeah. Missing The View and messing up your schedule, and then your jumping Jimmy can't come over there and jump up and down on you until the kids get out of school. And we understand it's going to put a crimp in your style, but we're having a little problem here providing you with that $8 billion every month. We're just coming up short. Trump's tariffs hurting us too. So I'm sure you'll understand if we can't feed you this month.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Like I said, this, we were talking a little bit over the break, but this shutdown is like probably the best thing that's ever happened to Donald Trump, because they have given him so much immense power. For him to decide, I'll fund this, I won't fund that, I'll fire these people, pay these people. He's already talked about how he's going to find money to pay the soldiers. The WIC benefits, utilizing the tariffs that the Democrats so hated, which I think, by the way, is like the most beautiful of switcheroos. Like, hey, those tariffs you all hate, it's paying for those WIC benefits. Aren't you glad for the tariffs now? And then going straight after Democrat voted with this SNAP. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing to behold.
Wow. Folks, tell you what, Matt just made a good point about this. He's winning. And the thing about it is this shutdown is coming at the time when the Democrats have the worst, sorriest, trifling, incompetent leadership. Oh, my God, this is a godsend to have Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries at the same time from the same state with the same warped viewpoints.
Jeez.
You cannot make this up.
You can. It's just like I said, it's just and Trump is, he's loving it, right?
Look. That's why he doesn't go to sleep. He said, I'm gonna miss something. I'm gonna miss something.
What next stupid thing are they gonna do to give me more power? I mean,
he's just toying with them like a cat with a little mouse in the corner there. And they fall for everything he throws out there. You know how your big brother tells you, hey, what's that on your shirt? You look at him. So it's just one thing and then the L's are coming. He has like 3 victories today that I was able to catalog and send off to my left-wing loon friends who I have text numbers for. America continues to win.
Yeah.
and for the people to get upset, that again, all you're doing is just highlighting yourself. You're putting a marker, letting everybody knows that, hey, you are the problem that America has, and if you do bad, that means everybody else is going to be doing good. The inverse is going to be it's going to be we're doing better now.
And hopefully people will wake up to that, right? They say, you know what? We didn't need all those things,
Yeah.
right? I think that's the crazy thing is that, the government is shut down and no one really cares that a lot of these federal government employees aren't getting paid. They don't really, and that they're not working. They weren't working to begin with. So it's just, the further this thing goes on, the further this shutdown goes on, further shows just how much larger the government is than it should be. Because it's like, we didn't need that program, we didn't need that program. These SNAP benefits, like you said, if these people actually have to start going to work and actually bettering our society that way, it just starts opening the rest of society up to understand that, you know what, maybe we shouldn't, these programs have gotten out of hand. Maybe our government has grown so much out of hand, and it makes us, we can see that it can operate. And if people can go about their daily lives like nothing ever happened,
Right.
It just shows how beautiful this whole plan is.
It is. And the thing about it is, doing all this that has been going on since Trump came down the escalator, to him, his ability to remain calm, because you mentioned earlier about having legal drama.
Mm-hmm.
This guy had all this legal drama, people trying to kill him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still getting up every day, suiting up, going out there on the field of battle. I'm just saying, and I know there are people who have studied the Bible more than I, but my spiritual eye says God's got his fingers on this brother.
I mean, the fact that the bullet just came in inches from his head,
Right.
is, I think, almost enough to say that. But like you said, if you imagine anybody else who had to go through any of that,
Mhm.
but I think for him, the type of personality he is, it motivates him,
Mhm.
right? They just, you try to kill me, you try to put me in prison, you're just motivating me, friend. And I owe nothing to you, and I'm holding absolutely 0% back, because what else? You can't do anything else to me, because now I'm in power, and now you're going to face the consequences of that power.
Right. Folks, we got some breaking news, to me anyway. I'm seeing this on Facebook, and I hadn't seen this in the news because, again, I don't watch over-the-air TV much anymore. I catch stuff on my cell phone or whatever. But anyway, they're talking about putting well, let me just read the story from Mississippi Television. Quiet town with fewer than 50 residents right around the corner here from Flora is about to make history. ExxonMobil officials met with local officials in Sartasia, Mississippi, Yazoo County this week to discuss what could become the largest economic development project ever, worth $30 billion in the state. And of course, the proposal, a massive power plant and data center complex that could dwarf even the Amazon data center in Madison County, which is $16 billion. ExxonMobil representatives said the company is eyeing 2,000 acres near the Sartasia project for in an area called Germania. The power plant alone could generate enough electricity for 150,000 homes or 5 or 6 computers. Data center. See, this is the reason why climate change is no longer favorable, is because the elites realize, heck, we'd rather have these people under our thumb, controlling them by the data, than worrying about trying to control them with the data. I mean, with the climate change crap, because now they're all for nuclear now.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they're seeing the light here. So I don't know. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Had you heard about that?
I've not heard about that, but I was at earlier this year. I was at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas, which, by the way, has just grown so much that whole community. But a big part of what they were talking about was AI. And AI and Bitcoin, when they mine for them, it takes a lot of computing power.
Right.
And they're looking at places like that. And they actively talked about that. These CEOs of these Bitcoin companies and AI companies are actually looking for places like that throughout the country for cheap power.
Right.
Because it takes so much computing power to run these supercomputers.
That's
It
right.
blew my mind. Like when I went to go see them, I saw it at
Right.
this thing. And, like you said, it could run, one data center could easily,
Run the
do
city.
a whole city, or actually a decent sized Mississippi city, and so they're looking for these places. And it's just that amount of resources that it's going to take.
So that's why the
run these
president
things.
was talking about Greenland. Because what do they got? They got ice where it keeps it cool, and they got the thermal energy that constantly coming up.
Yeah, and perfect for solar and everything else out there, and wind that they
True
have
that.
out there
Yep.
for renewable side of things. Because for renewable energy hasn't been sufficient because they just require so much power. There's only so much you can have. But a place like Greenland, there's almost the possibilities are endless.
That's right. That's right. You can actually stack them.
Mhm.
Dig down into the ice a couple stories down and keep digging, and because you got they'll stay cool, and then you got the cool water coming from the water,
Yep.
and then you got the hot water creating the thermal energy. It's just a win-win. President Trump was so far. I mean, this guy had the last 4 years he sat down and studied this thing.
Absolutely. It was the same thing with like the Space Force that I talked
That's
about.
right.
Everybody made fun of him in 2019 or whatever, when he created the Space Force.
Mhm.
And now we're looking at, hey, that's where the next war is going to be. It's going to be in satellites and communications,
That's right.
and being able to deliver those munitions even from space.
Mhm.
And he was thinking about that in Army Futures Command, which he created,
Mhm.
thinking about that years and years ago to get ahead. Despite he wants to be the Space Force. They'll
Mhm.
make fun of him. And now it's like, no, that's where when we talk about China and Russia and being able to take down people's communications,
There
that's
you go.
exactly where it is. He's able to see it when people aren't.
The guy is he's a cutting edge. He's on the cutting edge all the time. Attorney Matt Bishop is producing the show today. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, the final few minutes of the first hour of the Kim Wade Show, brought to you by EliteRoofer.com. 601-879-0002 is our number, and their number is 326-2755, area code 601. All right, folks, we've been discussing numerous topics today. The bottom line is be of good cheer. Like I said before, at the end of the day, all that Trump and MAGA is doing is making America great, we're going back to the things that work. We're not doing the stupid stuff and the foolish stuff simply because a bunch of petulant adults want their way, and their way causes us harm. Why would Democrats go and do that to the American people? Give these people driver's license to drive 18-wheelers, and they came from countries that didn't even have roads in many cases. They always put us in danger and then act the damn fool because we don't want to be harmed. It's time for us to throw some sharp elbows up under the basket as needed. So if they can't stand pain, Matt, they need to leave us alone.
And it's the pain's coming. That's the thing, right? You know, and it's about, like I said, the thing is that this pain has been it's been brewing for a while. It's about time it's come. Right. We needed this reset in the country and locally and everywhere.
Right.
We needed this big reset to say, you know what? It's like in the stock market, they call it a correction, right? You need this huge correction to get us back on track. And that's what this country needs. You need a big correction, and it's going to hurt.
That's right.
It's going to hurt for a lot of people. And
it's the pain of childbirth.
Exactly. But we get better at the whole idea is that it becomes a better country at the end of it. And people just have to be able to get used to that.
And then the people who are opposing this, who are angry about it, you need to really rethink about what you're doing, particularly out in public and let everybody see you. You're saying that you're willing for us to be harmed just so you can have your way while you're asking us to help subsidize your existence. You haven't thought this through, bro. You need to understand that. Right back.
That is me. You're going to come with you. You there?
Hey, I'm here.
You want to talk about it on the air or during the break?
On the air.
Okay, just hold on for me, okay? Yeah, sorry, what was your name?
Matt. Oh, shit. We'll put you on hold. Let me get a drink first.
They're not going to do anything with the weapon. Don't worry about it. We just very well. They're not going to do anything with it.
The Department of Homeland Security is redirecting resources away from San Francisco after Trump spoke to the mayor there, Daniel Lurie.
In our conversation, the president told me clearly that he was calling off any
using a hidden camera and an X-ray that could read down.
That gamblers were cheated out of $7 million.
A month or two. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteer to defend our country. Just dial pound 250. Say Micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250. Say Micro to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something.
Local news and weather brought to you by Mississippi Energy Services, or your fast, affordable, and friendly generator service company, msenergy.us. msenergy.us.
And that, my friends, is the bottom line. Sunny and 81 this afternoon, partly cloudy at 49 tonight, sunny and 81 Friday. Saturday night and Sunday, you can expect rain and a cool down. You've got news on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis. Frank Melton is being honored for his many contributions to Mississippi and Jackson, with part of Pearl Street from I-55 to State and the Pearl Street Bridge both being named after him by a vote from the city council. Melton served as mayor of Jackson from 05 to 09, and before that was head of the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics and CEO of WLBT-TV. The U.S. Marshals were in Bolton Wednesday, arresting 42-year-old Carlton Mack, who was wanted in the Monday murder of his ex, which happened in her kitchen on Cedar Hill Drive in Clinton. Police say she was shot several times, and Mack's vehicle was seen on video leaving. Also under arrest are 20-year-old Carnia Randolph and 19-year-old Candace McVeigh. JPD believes they were involved in the murder of 22-year-old Melvin Bass, which happened Sunday at a gas station on Cooper Road. They have both been charged with accessory after the fact to murder, and Interim Chief Tyree Jones says he expects more people to be arrested. A wreck Tuesday evening about 6:30 south of Goodman on Highway 51 killed 69-year-old Larry Ray Horton of Durant. He was thrown out of his car when it hit the embankment on the side of the highway. Jillian Caldwell is the new chief financial officer for the city of Jackson. She was confirmed this week by the city council on recommendation of Mayor John Horn. She's been with the city for more than 20 years and replaces Lumumba administration holdover Fidelis Malumbeka. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Now's the time to get a great deal on a Kubota Z200 series mower with the new K-Ride comfort system. Designed to optimize your ride, the series delivers a quality cut and an exceptional ride. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 1.99% APR for up to 48 months. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Divini Equipment, serving you in Madison and Jackson. Stop, call, or click at DiviniEquipment.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
The Kim Wade Show, brought to you by Bill's Creole and State Depot. Now open Thursdays through Sundays from 3 till 9 p.m. on the tracks in downtown Flora.
All right, folks, we are back, and it is Thursday. Glad to be back here in the studios again today. Folks, this is your host, who? It's Radio Strongman, Kim Wade, coming to you live from WYAB. And guess what, folks? Our good friends over at Rapid Tire I just got all my fluids changed last week. I'm good to go on the differential, transaxle, oil, power steering. I got everything checked out and squared away. I trust those folks, and you will also. You just in any location. They got good workers, good attitudes, and they're always trying to serve. I used to be a little leery of the rapid oil changes places when they try to, when you get your oil change, they come back and say, well, this needs to be done. I've come to learn these people are serious about maintaining your car. So I do go ahead on and get my cabin filter changed. I get the filters changed because it does help your car run. And when they clean the, I don't know if the spark plugs or whatever, they put the cleansing in there to clean it so you get better gas mileage.
The fuel injectors?
Fuel injector,
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's worth it. They're not just trying to upsell you. You need to get that done at least once a year. So when the good folks over at Rapid Tire Exchange give you a recommendation, you can take it to the bank, Hank. And the same thing with Rapid Oil Change. And if you're looking for some employment, you got a good attitude, good work ethic, can show up on time with a good attitude, they're looking for you. So stop by there, and you can even start in at the bottom and work your way up to. They got people been over there since the place opened back in 1994.
Especially if your SNAP benefits. If you're retiring November 1st,
hey, that's
now's
right.
your opportunity.
And you like to eat? Hey. and you know what, to you people out there worried about that, look, you need to understand something. You being upset and going on social media saying things about how you're upset, it's not helping your case. But if you want to do that, that's fine. But what you're going to find out, all of America is just tired. We made so much money available to try to help people get on their feet. And we're helping the same people over and over again. And then y'all bringing in new people for us to help from all parts of the world. We're not doing this anymore. That's how I see it. So we got somebody on the line.
We do. We have Mac on the line.
Folks, the hotline number is brought to you by EliteRoofer.com. The voice you're about to hear is totally insane. Plus, he's crazy. What do you say, Mac?
Hey, Tim Wayne, what you lying about to these bad white people today?
Oh, man. Well, what we're talking about black racists, and then you called. Who would have thought?
Oh, no, there's no such thing, Kim. Y'all are the ones that oppressed racist black people for, 400 years?
Yeah.
It's y'all, Kim.
But think about it. But wait a minute.
You're the Uncle Tom.
But wait a minute. But think about it. Think of all the accomplishments you had because white people made you get your butt to work. You'd have been a nobody. Nobody would have ever spoken of you. Now here, because of the white man put his boot up your backside, you built cities, you built towns, you built pyramids, and just think about you need to thank the white man. Let's take this time to do it right now. Go, Mac. Say it.
Nah, ain't no thanking none. Y'all give y'all payback. I think it's nothing but white people standing in these soup kitchen lines waiting on a free box of food because they struggling. Y'all talking about everybody sitting to feel the pain. Yeah, you doggone right they're finna feel the pain because they voted for Donald Trump.
Well,
that's why they.
Well, let me ask you this here. What are you gonna do for the people in need since you care so much?
I ain't giving away. I told myself
Typical spook.
No. I might get some kids something.
No.
I might go to the Salvation Army and get one of them tree, get one of them things off the tree or whatever. I was telling my wife.
Not enough.
So he's not for social programs.
What I got, man, I ain't giving away none of y'all.
No, wait a minute.
That voted for Trump. They said them black folks vote for Trump. That's their fault.
How can this be? I mean, we got all these people, who care for the poor and the marginal community and the LGBT and the weirdos and the queerdos. You guys should have this fixed, man.
What you say? Act like white folks. Yeah. I keep it to myself. Yeah. Act like white folks can. That's what you be saying.
So in other words, black people can't depend on you. The Mac man, the black Mac man.
No. You Republicans can't depend on.
So I think
white folks, white people and black people that vote for Donald Trump cannot depend on me at all.
So I think Mac is against social programs. He's against the welfare and he's against these SNAP benefits. He's saying it right there. Don't take his money. So he's going conservative. He's going conservative.
He's sounding MAGA.
It is MAGA.
It's more white folks on SNAP and food stamps than anybody. So what y'all talking about?
Well, then,
there's more white people on there.
Sir.
It's a white country, man. What y'all talking about?
Sir, wait a minute. All these years, we've been hearing you people talking about how you concerned about everybody not eating and not having health care and not having housing.
Yeah.
I'm expecting y'all to look, November 1st, I'm expecting shut up. Listen to me, son. On November 1st, I'm expecting all you social justice warriors, all you people in the compassion industry to step up. This is your finest hour coming up. And I'm expecting y'all to shine.
Go ahead and take it out of their paycheck, what they would have taken, just like they want to, and give it right to them. It's all available to them. You can still do that. Even though the government doesn't do it, you still have the ability.
He's right, Mac.
Trump giving all the money to Argentina. He bankrupted these farmers.
But okay, but listen. We're talking to you, Mac. What are you going to do for the poor people around you, sir? You making good money. You out there? Listen.
They run the White House, Congress, and the Senate. Call the Republicans. That's who. Yeah, they run everything, Ken. That's why we make America great again.
I know, but
we headed
but that has nothing to do with your compassion, sir. Yeah, I know.
That is funny. I agree. We agree on that point.
You can forget about it.
So Mac is
crazy.
So Mac is not willing to share.
On Saturday.
He's become MAGA. He's a Republican, is what he's saying.
So if I come to your door and say, brother man, can you help a brother out? Give me $5.
I'm gonna tell you, look, I just got me some new weapons. I gotta go out there to
Lord. Now they talking violence.
No, I ain't I want to meet you out there too, to do some target practice.
So he's against social programs, and he's for the Second Amendment. I think he's going to vote. I think he's going to vote for JD Vance.
Sounding whiter and whiter, Mac.
Man, forget all that. Y'all.
Walk towards the white, sir. Man. Walk towards the white. Okay.
No, forget that. I can't stand you racist people. I like white people, but I can't stand the ones that don't like people just because they gay, black, or whatever else y'all don't want to like people about. I mean, what y'all got against gay people?
No, we don't have anything. We got something against stupid people. It just so happens so much often it overlaps with you people. You guys are multitasking when it comes to stupidity.
You should have something against pedophiles, like your president and pedophile chief. Donald Trump got the whole country shut down while he's building a ballroom.
Yeah,
that's just crazy, man. This whole country backwards.
It's actually It's not a ballroom. It's a command center. He's never leaving office, sir. He's going to be president.
I know, right? I know. He didn't want to leave the first time. He got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to leave there. He threw up a fit, crying like a baby. Had the folks up there jumping the White House and stuff, man.
Well, Mac,
anyway,
I am really shocked to hear that you're not willing to help the less fortunate, sir. Here you've been calling here with all this blackety black crap. You don't know any black people you can help, any brown people, any gay. Matter of fact, why don't you do it for the gays since you got so much love for the booty bandits?
Nah, I'm gonna send some money to Kamala Harris like I done before.
Yeah, she's gonna help. I'm telling you, she's gonna take it right to her book.
The people should have voted for her, man. That's what should have happened. I sent Kamala a couple $. Last time around.
Yeah. Boy, look, you don't disappoint on stupid. You really don't. You sent her some money, bro.
Yeah, I sent her about $25.
Bro, you didn't send me no money.
You came to one.
You came to one of my events. Listen. You came to one of my events and didn't even give me a donation. What?
No, you weren't gonna make it nowhere, Ken. You weren't gonna be nobody, man. Nobody like you. Ain't nobody voting for Ken Wade.
That ain't got nothing. Listen, that ain't got nothing to do with you doing right, sir.
Kamala Harris had no chance either.
So yeah, she had no, I mean, look, I had a better chance. I had a better chance than Kamala.
Yeah.
Mac, are you okay?
I'm perfect, man. Just got out work, rolling. You know what I'm saying?
You got off work?
Just got out. Yeah, down here in Florida. I just left out of Georgia, in Florida right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, look, then.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to say. Y'all don't say nothing about that white man that killed 8 people in Atlanta the other day. Y'all don't say nothing about that white man. Y'all talking about these foreign drivers and stuff. Y'all ain't say nothing about the white man killed 8 people in one instant.
I didn't hear that.
Not paying attention.
What happened?
Y'all didn't hear about that, right? You don't know nothing about that, right?
No, we didn't hear that.
Yeah, I know. Y'all ain't know everything.
Now,
ain't got to do with
did he kill him? Did
anything like that?
Did he kill him because did he kill him because he was a white man?
I'm saying y'all not talking about it because he's a white man.
Oh.
Y'all talking about these foreigners that just hurting people. But y'all don't say nothing about this white man.
Well, tell us a little bit about it because I'm not familiar with it. It could be something you're making up, Matt, because you do get a
Some
little
white,
delusional.
no, 18-wheeler driver driving into Atlanta on I-85 ran smack dab into a family of 8 people. He killed a grandmama, he killed a pregnant woman, and like 3 or 4 children.
So in other words, he was one of the Biden people that you brought into the country.
No, he was a white man.
Yeah, he was a white man that you guys brought into the country.
No, he was a
Mac,
country boy,
Mac,
hillbilly,
Mac,
smoking meth, white person.
Mac,
That's what he was.
Mac,
He probably was a meth head.
Well,
that's what he was. Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
And I want to move out of my neighborhood if I could afford to move out of my neighborhood. Because it ain't nothing but a bunch of white meth heads in my neighborhood. I got to go move to another white neighborhood.
Well, it's funny. Listen, it's funny because a white meth head called here and complaining about a black guy in their neighborhood. I'm wondering if they're talking about you.
Is it starting to line up now? The dots are connecting?
Yes. And they were saying something.
Yeah, that's you on that meth too, kid. All y'all on that meth, man. It's crazy. Like
Mac, listen, trust me. You're safer in a neighborhood with white people than you are with black Democrats. You know that. And matter of fact, that's why you moved to the neighborhood. That's why you moved to the neighborhood because it had white people in it. Let's be honest.
No.
Come on, man.
It ain't just white people. I'm in a mixed neighborhood. It ain't just no white people in this neighborhood.
No, you ain't.
Yeah, it's mixed.
That neighborhood looked like a set of a Tarzan movie. Ain't nothing but Negroes running around there with spears and grass skirts on. Come on, bro. This is me, man. This Kim.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
All right, man. Hey, look, bro. I know you down there in Florida. Hey, don't be picking up that candy down there, son. All right. I know you probably doing something illegal because that's what you people do. You can't just work a legal job and get your 8 hours and make your money and go home. You got to do a little boosting on the side. I know you people.
And
what are you hauling out there? What are you hauling?
Don't worry about all that. I'm hauling drugs.
You're hauling illegals. You're hauling illegals. You're hauling illegals. You working for the cartels. Come on, Mac.
I still can't find anything about this mass shooting though, Mac. I was looking. I saw there was a police officer. There was a police officer who ran his car into a house. That's the police officer right there, Kim. If you want to see, that's the police.
You kind of look like Mac too.
I don't know. I'm just saying, but there's some guy who may have brought a rifle into the Atlanta airport, but I don't see anything about what you're talking about there, Mac. I hate to tell you.
No, 18-wheeler. He killed 8 people. Look, in Atlanta.
8 people in Atlanta. Well, I did
you would think that would be headline news. Nobody heard about
There's
it.
nothing on there. Even NBC of all the people. Like I said, there's a black officer who ran into someone's car and caught on fire. No one knows why. And there's some guy who tried to bring an AR-15 into the airport. That's all that's on there, Mac. I hate to tell you. We just bring facts here, Mac. We don't. Okay. Well, there's imaginary people.
I got Mac. Hey, Mac. Can I post that picture of me and you took? On
we ain't took no picture.
I thought we took one at Dueling Hall. Wasn't that you at Dueling Hall?
No. I ain't never met you before. Well, where we gonna meet up at Ham Shell or down there at Two Guns? Where you want to meet at on the Monday? I'll meet you on Monday at Two Guns on Monday.
Okay.
Lunchtime.
Yeah. Well, we can grab lunch someplace. We can meet at Hamo's or Primo's or wherever you feel comfortable.
Wherever you feel comfortable. I'm comfortable everywhere. I ain't worried about nothing.
Well, let's meet at Hamo's at noon and at 12 o'clock on Monday.
I ain't never been to Hamo's, but I hear it's good.
Oh, okay.
It's a white person restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. So in other words, they saw you walk up and close the door.
Well, no,
Here's looking like a criminal enterprise here, buddy. Matt, don't come in there with no ski mask on, bro. Okay, I know you people. You make me nervous, bro.
Yeah, you people. You are you people, Uncle Tom.
Ain't got no. Listen. Like I said before,
you forget where you come from.
Yeah, listen, racists and white supremacists.
I bet your grandma and granddaddy rolling in their grave.
Yeah, they might be, but one of the things, just remember this, Mac. Racists and white supremacists build the best societies. Gotta go. Yes, they do.
Lies.
Oh, here. All right, folks, we are back. So the Mac man is going to meet me. I just posted this picture up on my Facebook page, Wade for Mayor or whatever. He says that's not him. It may not be him because there's probably 2 or 3 in his mind. He's a liberal. These people are certifiably insane. Even crazy people look at them and shake their head. That's crazy. I mean, even Whitfield got their standards. They said, "No, we can't do Mac." But anyway, okay, here it is. Here's the story. Fox News 5 Atlanta. This is from October 14th. He talked like it just happened. The driver of a tractor trailer that Georgia State Patrol said was responsible for a ferry crash on Interstate 85 has been arrested. The crash claimed the lives of 8 people, 5 children on Monday. Kane Aaron Hammock of Gainesville was arrested Monday following 6-vehicle crash that shut down all of northbound lanes of I-55. He was charged with 8 counts of homicide, and he is a white guy, Kane Aaron Hammock. Let's see. He was charged with 8 counts of homicide by vehicle in the 2nd degree, feticide by vehicle. I've never heard of feticide. We'll let the attorney weigh in on that one. Distracted driving and following too closely, all misdemeanors. He was also charged, I don't know, homicide is a misdemeanor. He was also charged with operating a vehicle without current plate. The coroner confirmed that all 8 people inside the van died at the scene. Their identities had not been confirmed. The backstory, according to the Highway Patrol, Hammock was behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler and sparked a chain reaction crash around 411 on I-55. Trooper said the semi, which was following too closely, struck the back of the Dodge Caravan, setting off a chain reaction involving 4 other vehicles. The van caught fire at the impact, and all 7 people inside were pronounced dead at the scene, burned alive. And the 8th victim was later found at the crash site. What'd you say?
Is that the I think so Chris, I was just talking to Chris on the line. He was giving me the update on that. But there's nothing, and like I said, we were trying to search it. There's nothing about that was intentional. He was his guy wasn't paying attention, and what Chris was telling me on the phone just a second ago was it wasn't intentional. He just obviously wasn't paying attention. Some of the lanes were moving somewhat. It wasn't some kind of terrorist attack that this guy was trying to kill people, as old Mac was trying to make it out to be.
Right. Okay, what they're saying is that the van contained people from the animal rescue shelter there in the Atlanta area, I guess. So it was filled with 8 people. I guess these were volunteers, etc. type. The organization said the van was also carrying 37 cats. Oh my God!
Oh, not the
cats.
Oh
No,
not the cats.
Oh, this is a tragedy. Kill that white boy.
Yeah,
Kill him.
That's mass right there.
Oh,
37 kittens killed.
Oh, that meat. Okay, let's be serious. 8 people lost.
That's right. They did.
So,
But it was, like I said, I think it's important. Again, we tell people that, this is why, again, we couldn't find it. It wasn't a terrorist attack. It wasn't this white man was trying to kill these people in this van. It was an unfortunate accident, which, unfortunately happens.
Now, it sounds like to me, Mac is actually just revealing some of his racism.
Yeah, it's a white guy, so he must have been doing it on purpose.
That's right. So, Mac, it sounds like you're a little jaded there, my brother. Come on, man. Ease up on the Caucasian, man. They ain't done nothing to nobody. So, Mac, the story is true that you're relying, but I've been saying this. Black people look for opportunities to get white people on the hook. Clay was commenting this morning about black interacting with the police. I said, after the George Floyd family hit that liquor, almost $30 million for George Floyd's death, black people look at the interactions with any police engagement, any police interaction as a scratch-off lottery ticket for the family to win. Oh, you didn't kill him? Oh,
man. No.
He's still alive? Oh. Did you beat him good?
Yeah, we get something out of it.
Oh, man, we got to pay bond money. Shoot, this is a loss. We're going to take an L on this one.
Yeah.
No, let him sit in there.
Yeah, he's good.
Yes.
It's not his first time, so he's used to it.
He can do it standing on his head.
Yeah.
No, really. People are starting to look at interactions with the police as a potential money-making adventure for the family. It's a generational
They're
wealth
looking
type
for
of
it.
thing.
It's kind of. I was actually watching some body cam,
Mhm.
and they were trying to arrest this lady,
Oh, okay.
and she's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. They're just over her. She's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You can breathe. They're just trying to say what I just like. This is the good thing about. That's why I've always been a big fan of body cams.
Yeah.
Right? Is that it takes out the bad cops and protects the good ones. Right?
As I said, it can exonerate you or implicate you. You
Yeah.
decide. Yeah.
And the vast majority of police out there are good guys. They're trying to do the right thing, and this is what helps them because everybody said they're all out there. They know they want to say the buzzwords like "I can't breathe" just to try to sue him, try to get some hardworking guy fired who's trying to help our community. And so that's why these body cams are just so important.
Right. Well, we're our police officer. Being a police officer or school teachers are going to be the last two. I mean, look. I got to be facing November 1st food stamp cutoff.
Yeah, boy, I do that absolutely.
That's not. It's not
Absolutely.
going to be my first choice because I know my temperament. But if I, as a police officer, I'm going to do the same thing my parents did. If they got to chase you, you're going to get beat. You can expect a beating.
That's right.
You need to stand there and take it. But if you got to be chased, oh baby, it's going to be a problem for you. So this is what gets me. People who are resisting the police order or not following the orders, and then they act surprised when they get drug out of the car. Why don't you just get out the car?
What do you think was going to happen?
Oh, okay, I'm ready to cooperate now. No,
Too late.
It's too late now, homie. So, and that's all Trump is bringing back is the certainty of being held accountable on the spot.
Mhm.
And people aren't used to that. That's why Trump is just saying, and this is why the people who may experience some, let's just say, some discomfort on November 1st, you're doing it for a greater cause. Nobody's really trying to hurt you, but you got a lot of Americans who just need to hear this message. No, we're not doing this anymore. You need to take serious the responsibility of pulling your own weight.
That's the problem. They haven't heard no
Ever.
enough in their life.
Never. And you'd be surprised. Matter of fact, I was talking with the lady downstairs who's teaching now, and she was just saying, I was telling her, I said, look, you got to get your bluff in early. You can't wait and just start trying to be nice. No, let them know the rules and the parameters, that this is a process that we're going to follow here in my classroom. People they don't have any standards. And they're not used to being, you've been in the military, so you're gonna have to yield. You gotta submit your will to the will of the.
Well, even then, it would get that much got taken from us.
Right.
Right now, Pete Hegseth is putting that back in.
Right.
But even that, because you get these guys who've never been told no. You know what? You're going to show them what no means, right? And they may get their butt beat to understand that.
That's the reason why. I mean, I did apply. I was like 2 weeks away from going into the Air Force, waiting on my birth certificate, and then I went on to a computer school. But I knew I knew that's the reason I didn't pledge. I don't have the temperament for that kind of.
Right.
I mean, it's got to make sense to me. You want me to dig this hole and then fill it back up, and you want me to do this repeatedly?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yep. That's the kind of stuff.
Yeah, no. What else you got? What else you got? Because I'm not feeling this here. Oh, you're not feeling this?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you what you can feel.
Yeah.
We'll see
Give me
that real
something I
nice.
can feel. And see, what Trump is doing is bringing back normal.
Yep.
Bring back what works.
Common sense is what I'd say. Just bring it back. This is the return of common sense.
That's it. And many people who have been getting away doing a whole lot of stuff to the rest of us while we pay them, they're being told that that's not going to happen anymore. Now they got to figure out. And you know what? We believe in you that you'll be able to get your crap together. And we're hoping that you do. But if you don't, guess what? We don't care.
That's on you, friend.
It's on you, buddy. Hey, you remember how you were telling us about how you were I'm a grown man. Okay. Okay.
Go, grown man.
Go ahead.
Do it, grown man.
Go. You can do it. We're pulling for you. All right. Our number is 601-879-0002. EliteRoofer.com.
Hey, Chris, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Sorry, we didn't have. I know you always have some good stuff to say. I didn't want to give you just 2 minutes or so. So we'll get you on.
I'm cool. I've been doing this a long time. I know how it works. I'm
All
about
right.
to get in commercial break.
All right, man. We'll get you at the top of the next break. All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Just hold on.
All right, folks, we're back. And my friend, Chris.
What's happening?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
You ain't gonna believe what I'm doing right at the moment. I just got home. I'm sitting out here, and I'm hearing my second favorite meat up there in these trees barking. You know, that tree chicken.
That's right.
I love me some squirrels, boy. That makes some fine gravy.
Oh man. Well, we gotta try everything in the food chain, brother. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna go hungry. Trust me.
God put them there for a reason, right?
That's exactly. I mean, that's what's like going, learning how to survive off the land and find, like the pine cones and stuff. They drop the seeds out. If you can beat your squirrels to them, they're actually a little tasty piece at the end of that where the seedlet comes out. It's actually pretty good. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you'd be surprised at stuff that this is like I forgot what it's called, but the things that grow up with the thorns you see them on the side of the highway, you can actually eat that stuff.
There you go.
Dandelions or whatever they call, if you leave them alone, they'll grow up. And I remember being a kid, we'd go out in the field because they'd be as tall as you and would hit them with sticks now because they're hollow inside, and they're like similar to a celery, like.
Really?
I think they're called dandelions. It's amazing what God put out here that we overlook because everybody's on processed food.
That is true. There's so much out there that we can take advantage of. And it's like people did survive here before said processed food and shipped foods at one time.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, y'all know what poke salad is.
I've heard of it. I have not.
You don't see it as much because insecticides. But it used to be just a wild bush, and it growed it like it and had the little purple berries. You couldn't eat the purple berries, but if you knew what time of year, you could pick those leaves and cook it. It's like turnip greens or kale. Because kale is actually a wild green. You got the mustards and the collards, and that's what people don't realize. When the old folks eating all that stuff, it was healthy for them because God put it here for a reason, and it had different beneficial stuff. But no, he was talking about that truck wreck and all, and I go to Vicksburg every day, and these idiots that shows them, even the truck drivers worse, dude, it's coming to one lane, slow down to 60. They're trying to, outrun everybody. But I'm glad Matt's in office. Mr. Bishop, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, what
you know that dude that they arrested for threatening Dollar Store Obama?
Dollar Store Obama?
Hakeem Jeffries.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
He made a threat, and it's all over news. You hear it 2 or 3 times a day. Is how he was one of the January 7th of the Trump pardon.
Yeah.
What about all these people out here that's threatening to kill us, to kill Trump?
Well, that's the thing, right?
The threats. I mean, if you go in there, they're threatening everything on video and doing all this. How come they're not being put? Look at George Floyd. I mean, like the dude that killed the girl on the train. He's been just repeatedly released. How come they're not going and saying, well, this is who let him loose? Because that's the first thing they're going to say is Trump pardoned him. He was a January 6er.
Oh, yeah. Well, so that's the thing. Let's talk legally for just a second about that, because, if you remember on Trump's first term, you had people like Kathy Griffin, had a severed Trump head.
Thank you. Snoop Dogg. I mean, not Snoop Dogg, Eminem. Eminem doing the video. And if we'd have done that during Obama, if some white people, where would we be right now?
Well, so that's the thing is that the First Amendment does protect certain types of speech, and especially if you're a public figure, there is a much broader. You have a lot more leeway in that regard, right? So generally we look at something that's not protected by the First Amendment. If it's a legitimate, actual, I'm going to shoot you in this point in time,
right?
Certain specifics to it, right? That that they have to have. But saying I'm just going to kill someone, I hate him, he's gonna, that people talk like that all the time with these people.
Exactly.
And you have artistic expression for Kathy Griffin having a severed head, would you? Right? If that's your style of art, whatever.
Yeah.
So you see where they stop saying where they can't spin it back around because it's like you're not supposed to go into the theater and holler fire.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's the kind of
to a panic.
Like I said, so there are certain limits to freedom of speech, but like I said, but it's pretty broad here in America, right? I mean, it's like hate speech itself is, quote unquote hate speech is not necessarily illegal, right? So like it is in a lot of places. Your speech may get you fired from your job. It doesn't protect you from that, right? But
they're trying to sue because the ones hollering about Charlie Kirk because they did something, and they're not, now they're trying to sue because they got fired. We don't want that to be a part of it because you're making us all look bad.
Exactly. The Constitution does not apply to your employer. It just implies that the government cannot come after you. So you're still responsible for what you say, but but especially with these public figures, there is a much broader. Now, it doesn't prevent us, just like we did with Kathy Griffin. Hey, she has that. Nothing prevents the FBI or the Secret Service from bringing you in to question you about that, though. Right? we can search you out a little bit, and that gives us probable cause to maybe put some warrants on you. Having warrants and things like that is a whole lot different from actually going through with the prosecution. So, that's the thing to remember on these things.
Sure.
And I get that freedom of speech. It's just like when they started burning the flags. But now my other thing is on the N word.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's become the great word. And it's like, wait a minute. I've told him a story years ago. A couple of years ago, I dumped it. And I said, dude, I wouldn't call you that. I wouldn't. And I ended up making friends with it. You're sitting up here GDing, and that offends me. Mm-hmm. And I ain't said nothing to you. I didn't call it towards you. If I offended you, I'll apologize. But, all of a sudden, that's the other one, it's up there. And it's just like, wait a minute, I have a freedom of speech. If I'm not using it in a hurtful way is the way I look at it, just like you was talking about with the threatening and doing this, hey, I wish this man was, this, that, and the other. Cool. But when you turn around and come back towards me, like they call them Nazis and stuff, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Bishop.
Yeah.
It's just like, wait a minute, y'all can do it, but I can't.
Well, again, that's the media, right? That's the stuff that is outside of that, right? That's outside the law.
And the point I'm trying to prove, that's what Matt was listening to. He went and listened to some far left wing media that was giving their opinion, not reporting the news that happened.
Right.
And they take it and they run with it, and it keeps growing.
Well,
that's what's going on. Just like the ones I've seen where they didn't even know Charlie Kirk. They ain't never listened to him. He was a racist. He was a Nazi.
Yeah.
He was preaching hate.
Well, again, that's what I talk about. Again, there's the difference between legal, but also too what what your speech propagates. So what the Democratic Party does. And they talk about, Trump's a threat to our democracy. All these people are a threat to our democracy. They're going to take down our country. He's going to be, a dictator and despot and all this other stuff. Sure, it's your freedom to say that necessarily, but you have to understand the consequences of your speech, which we've seen, right? Like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, that rhetoric that these Democrats put out there, they're still responsible for their speech, even though it's not violating the First Amendment. And they still need to be held responsible for those types of hateful speeches they put out there that propagates violence.
And that's the thing, it kills them. We're referred to democracy. No, it's a Republican. I mean, a republic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Jeffrey and Chicken Neck when they was doing it. This is what democracy looks like. I mean, y'all know how to hear it. Y'all sound. And Mr. Bishop, I talked to you right after Charlie.
Yeah.
I've gotten over about putting my hands on somebody if they're doing that. I got me some shirts and stuff that I'm going to start wearing. I'm praying guys on my back shoulder, and nobody calls up and says he deserves it. I'm praying to God, don't let me put my hands on him.
Absolutely. Well, you said, but you saying that though, just one quick moment of that, but you saying something like that though, again, that's something that's protected, right? That anger that you initially have, like, man, I could really kill someone about this right now, right? Like right. That's not a violation. That's not a crime to say that, just because you're just expressing that, you're expressing your opinion, you're expressing that anger that you have, which is completely legal.
Right.
Right.
Well, I don't want to put them in the ground. I want to hurt them. I want to cripple them. Or when they sit there, oh my knee, man, it was. I shouldn't have said that. I want them to remember, hey, don't say that. Run that across him. I mean, he's not going to go kindly to it, I don't want that on my heart. But you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I want to remember, hey, before you go running your mouth about somebody and hurting somebody, bullying like it used to be, and you hurt somebody's feeling, because some people can take it, some people can't. Some people can dish it out, but they can't dish it.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing too. We've seen, these, the bully, like people who commit suicide, like in high schools, they're trying to go after the parents of the students who are bullying them, or looking at prosecuting the bullies. And to me, again, that's another step too far in my, like, I get it, bullying is bad. But we gotta actually look at what things are actually going here, and people are sometimes responsible for their own actions too.
Got it.
All right, I'm gonna let you hit that, bro. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I everybody go and support these sponsors that support WYAB because we finna go, what, 50,000 strong, man.
50K.
That's right.
Worldwide.
Y'all gonna know our name. They're gonna know our names, Chris. They're gonna know our name.
We're bloviating throughout the state.
That's right.
That's right. Worldwide. Y'all be blessed and be safe, brothers.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, the tower went up today, 1,100 feet in the air. The wire has been pulled all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Now they're just making the connection, putting the hardware in. We're going to be, hopefully next week this time, we'll be ready to rock and roll.
They're gonna be so mad at us throughout the whole state. I'm just gonna be beautiful. Right in time for the SNAP benefits to stop. It's just gonna be a great week for everybody.
Oh yeah, and so we'll be able to. So all you people in the compassion industry been ragging on the rest of us about how much we don't care and yada yada yada. Well, we're getting ready to be able to point out to people where they can go get resources. Now, I've been telling y'all, many of the giveaway programs were us, the taxpayers, making food available through the excess surplus food that's available through harvesting, yada yada yada, agricultural department, whatever. And it wasn't necessarily coming from your nonprofit or anything like that. Ain't nothing wrong with them. My point is this here, folks. At the end of the day, it's the American people that's been feeding you. And all Trump is doing, all that is happening, and your reaction to all this is going to show whether or not you're an ingrate or you're a grateful person. If you're an ingrate, you're going to find out you're really not going to have anything after November 1st because people are tired of dealing with you. You need to work on your home training, really.
Absolutely. We'll have to take a break, I think, right here, Kim. We have one caller, though, who, when we come back, I think, who wants to say something about our new tower update. So I think they're excited about it.
We'll be right back. All right, the final few minutes of the second hour of the Kim Wade Show. And I want to make mention, too, don't forget my friend, Sister Janet Johnson over at the Caring and Sharing School. The number over there is 856-2611, area code 601, if you want to talk with her, or if you have some ideas, if you want to support or just offer prayer for her efforts there to train our kids up, giving them some home training, which is, folks, what's going on in our society right now? Nobody's holding up a standard. We were talking Bible study Tuesday night about the kids slouching down in the church pews. You know, when we were coming, you couldn't do that. So we just need to go back to start doing. You can't do this. No, sit up. No, don't let me hear about my members out there acting a fool. Say it. But we're trying to respect everybody's truth, and we can't move a society forward like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's time for those national standards, right? And our country used to have standards, and you expected to live to it. You know, it's like I think Miss Janet Johnson. She was on,
Right.
you know, a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was longer than that. I lose track of time. But you know, she talked about those standards,
Right.
You know, they used to have in the black community, and the community at large,
Period,
really.
yeah.
You know, and people just got used to relying on the government, and again, not being told no by their parents, and the government's not telling anybody no. Just get whatever you want. And then you just have that lower and lower workforce requirement, that lower and lower workforce participation, and you come to the place that we're at. And you have politicians just willing to give and give and give, and then get illegals in to get even more votes. And you have the same problems that the Roman Empire had near the end of there. They had the same thing. They're doing give outs, all this other stuff, just to try to get votes. Whatever they could do to get votes is all that mattered. And it led to the collapse of the Roman Empire. And that's exactly the place that we were heading, unless we have that big correction that's needed.
And that's why what Trump is doing, this is just time for some tough love. All this, and let me just say this to the audience: do not yield, don't respond, don't act the fool. Don't even be concerned, because a donut head sent me something today. Well, you know these people are racist, and I'm saying, so what? Who cares? You think being stupid is some kind of virtue that everybody else needs to bow down to, but you can't stand white supremacists and racists? Well, why don't you go? Matter of fact, everybody's going to get a chance to live where they want to live and be with the people they want to be when Trump gets done with what they're doing. And I'm willing to bet you $10 to a donut. Ain't nobody going to want to live around Mac. They ain't going to live around black Democrats, gays, liberals, and all these other folks who just routinely screw up our lives for no other reason other than they can. We don't like that. We don't like that.
So it's just a return to common sense. And these people, the very far rights and, you know, radical people, it's not Americans.
Right.
That's not America. Now, the media tries to make it seem that when they try to project that. But as we see with the correction of the last election, that's just not true. And people, at the end of the day, they care about their children, themselves, being able to put food on the table for themselves. And when you take away that, are you threaten their children with radical ideologue stuff that's out there, then they're going to take action. And that's where that correction has to happen. That's why it's coming. It's because you've hurt people directly where they don't need it, which is their children and their food tables.
There you go. And that formula there has been in place since time immemorial. And what he's pointed out about the Roman Empire, folks, this is not going to change. That's why we can speak with the certainty that we speak here at WYB, because we understand history. Matt, we appreciate it. What time's your show?
Shows 11 from shows on Saturday from 11 to 1. So we were there last week because of football game, but there's no football at 11 a.m. today, so we'll be right there in the studio to take it out.
All right, brother. Always good. Let's take a break. See you in 22 hours. Peace.
I'll show you.